want to talk about a couple more things. One, you can have a perfect putting stroke. The ball always goes exactly where you want it to, but the ball never goes in. Any idea why maybe that would be? Exactly, that's what I'm getting at. Reading greens is a huge part of putting. And in fact, a lot of the reason that those guys on tour can make so much money, it's not maybe because they're the best green readers, but it could be because those caddies out there, they know whatever putt's going to do. What do you look at when you're reading greens, Sam? Anything in particular, or you just try to say, it's going to go a little to the right?
Look for any elevation changes.
Explain.
Like a hill. If there's a hill on the left, it's going to roll down the hill.
That's a good way to do it. Tom, you do the same thing?
Yeah, same thing.
Justin, you got any more words of wisdom for reading greens?
So much of it's knowing the course.
That's
really.
A lot of it, definitely, and that's part of the reason the guys on tour play 4 or 5 practice rounds.
I mean, the obvious ones, a lot of times you can see, or if there's a pond, the water runs, or where the water runs off this green, the drainage of the green.
If you know the putt's going to break to the right, do you pick out a spot left of the hole, or do you just aim left and hope that you're aiming the right amount? Or do you pick a spot like an apex point?
Yeah, I suppose. I guess I kind of try to visualize the ball rolling to the hole, like the whole path of the ball.
That's it.
And then I started on that line, I guess.
That's great. The reason I'm saying is there's lots of different ways to do this too. I've heard of people picking the apex point similar to what, if you know it's going to swing, and you can also judge uphill and downhill. If you're uphill, it's not going to start swinging until it starts to slow down. Where it's downhill, it might just start swinging right away. But they try to pick that apex point and putt to it. Myself, I can't do that. I don't know why. I've tried it. I'm lousy at it. What I try to do is I judge if it's uphill or downhill. Assuming I get it correctly, I know if I need to hit it a little harder, a little softer. And I just kind of try to guesstimate from very equal with the hole how far it's going to break. So if I think that it's going to break a foot, I'll aim a foot left of the hole, instead of aiming at a spot left and short or left and long. And like what you said too, Sam, looking around the green to see, if there's a big hill on the left side, chances are it's probably going to break to the right, or it's going to break off of that hill. Or if there's a low, you can kind of see a low on the putting green over here. When you get over there, I bet you that ball wants to kind of plummet towards that low spot. So picking up little clues like that. A couple other good ways to learn what the ball's doing is check out what your competitors' putters are doing, or what your playing partners' putts are doing. Whether you're in the same spot of the green or not, you'll still be able to see what the tendency is around the hole. And I think around the hole is the most important part of putting. So if you're at a totally different line than the guy you're playing with, but you see that his fell towards this side of the cup at the end of the hole, there's no matter what side of the cup you're on, there's a chance that yours is going to want to tend to go to that spot too. So picking up clues like that. Another really good way too is especially if you're putting or chipping or someone else's, and that ball rolls up there by the hole but rolls ways past it. Watch that ball carefully, because a lot of times when if you see the ball rolling past the hole and then it starts to feed to the right afterward, you already know the line coming back. You just saw it going through. So it's trying to hit that same line, basically coming back to get to the hole. So just be aware of things like that, because a lot of the little clues that maybe you hadn't thought about earlier can really help you visualize what that putt's going to do, because half of putting is knowing where the ball's going to break. Like I said earlier, if you have a perfect putting stroke and you're hitting it exactly where you want every time, but you have no clue if the ball's going to break left or right, you're probably not going to make the putt. Any comments, questions?